Comrade Udengs Eradiri, former President, Ijaw Youth Council / member, Ijaw National Congress. He joins us live from Bayelsa State. Udengs, glad to have you join me.
Good evening, and good evening, Nigerians.
Yeah, for 3 years there was a leadership crisis, you could call it that. So, who brokered peace in the Ijaw Youth Council, and how effective is this peace? Is it long-lasting?
Well, first of all, the governor of Bayelsa State, we must appreciate him, Governor Eradiri, who, as the Governor General of Ijaw Nation, decided to step in and bring leaders together to resolve the conflict. We want to commend the government, Ekpompolo, our leader Tompolo, for the roles he played. We want to commend Chief His Highness Alhaji Asari Dokubo for all he did. And then especially we want to thank Kingsley Kuku, Dr. Kingsley Kuku, who, as usual, is always found in the peace that Nigeria have enjoyed from the Niger Delta. He came again to see how peace actually returned back to the Ijaw Youth Council. Especially we must appreciate Lopobri, the outgoing president, who made a lot of sacrifice, as well as Dr. Alaye, for accepting that peace and unity of the Ijaw nation is bigger than all their personal or other interests that were at play. So the credit truly goes to the governor of Bayelsa State, because he has painstakingly put this together, put leaders together to ensure that this process see the light of the day. I know that going forward, it will be difficult for us to have another faction, because the two warring factions came together to produce this leadership that Dr. Okotite just emerged as president yesterday. So we are very hopeful that with what the elders are doing, because I just left the meeting now, former President Elder Tiko Goriba chairing the process, we are looking at the remote causes of the problem to ensuring that it doesn't happen again, especially with this new executive council. We're also looking at introducing new measures to safeguard the practices and ongoings in the IYC. So hopefully we know that, we expect that there will be no more crisis.
Forward, can you confidently say that the 2026 elective convention was credible, and won't there be post-election litigations?
No. I don't think that there's going to be any litigations, because we did everything possible to bring all interests on the table, and then those that we were able to appeal to, of course, we spoke to them, and eventually the elections held in a very peaceful environment. For once, I will confess that this is one of the most peaceful IYC elections that we have had in the near future, and I know that it will be difficult for anybody to go to court. Who are the ones that are going to go to court? All the factions were seated on the table, and we all agreed before we went into the elections. It took us painstakingly hours to deliberate, negotiate, and eventually, when we all agreed, then we went into the hall for the elections. The media was very, very present, and we used the opportunity to appreciate all the works that was done by the Arise TV crew, who were there to beam live what was happening. So even those, our boys who always want to be out of order, because of the presence of the media, they also comported themselves, and eventually we had a process that was seen all over the world because it was being live, and that also helped to streamline the activities of the excesses of our young ones, and eventually everybody came out jubilating. We are looking forward to the 22nd of July, where the inauguration will take place, and of course you will see that from that point there will be unity in the Ijaw nation.
What advice do you have for the president, that is the president-elect, and the members-elect of the 10th National Executive Council of IYC before they are sworn in on July 22nd?
Well, the president that was elected is not a newcomer in the IYC. He's somebody who started from the grassroots, and he started from the clan structures, became a zonal chairman, did so well, and that's why he perhaps he won overwhelmingly. You know, he won about 80% of the votes that were cast. So once we have the kind of people that were put together, the Secretary General is a very fine gentleman. The Vice President is also somebody who had been a member of the IYC over the years, and all other ESCO members. We have the legal advisor, was one time LOSA president. We have the spokesman, who was one time the president of the National Union of Ijaw students. So when you have people who had led at various levels before come together, and then having a president with the pedigree of Dr. Okotete, we are not expecting them to go astray. However, we are also going to play our role to safeguard the organization, to insulate it from some of the external pressures. The only advice that I will give is that they must insulate the organization from politics, partisan politics. They must insulate the organization. Yes, you support an individual, but once you become the president of the Ijaw Youth Council, you cannot participate in any political activity. You are supposed to be a leader, cut across all political divides. And I tell you that the foundation of most of our problems is when we bring in political sentiments into our institutions. What bedeviled the last leadership, or the outgoing leadership, is when we got ourselves immersed in this Wike and Fubara crisis, and then we started turning it into an Ijaw versus other people issues. It does not concern our institutions. Our institutions have no business getting involved in those things, and I think that that is the major problem that we have had over the years. And once we begin to insulate our institutions from partisan politics, we will be seeing less and less of the kind of friction that embarrassed the Ijaw nation over the years. So my only advice to this ESCO and the president, using this medium, and I will also always talk to him, stay away from partisan politics. You don't need to go and be endorsing people. You are president of the Ijaw Youth Council. The IYC cannot, only where we have an Ijaw participating in an election against another tribe, that's when you can participate. Even at that, the leadership must stay away from the front burner of such activity. I was president of the Ijaw Youth Council. Some of the backlash that I got from some political leaders was because I refused to use the institution to support a particular candidate, especially in the governorship elections that took place in Bayelsa. So you must understand that politics have always been the foundation of the crisis that we have suffered over the years, and that is the area that I think that our institutions need to be insulated from. But other than that, I have utmost confidence in the person of Dr. Okotete Dobra, who has been a grassroots person. He has been tested before, he has been educated properly, and I know that he will be able to pilot the affairs of the organization. People like Alahat and the Secretary General, very matured young people. I believe that no matter what the issues are, they will be able to comport themselves and resolve their issues amongst themselves and not allow external forces to play roles in them. So for me, God being our ultimate guide will guide this ESCO for them to perform and serve the Ijaw nation, and of course, by extension, the Niger Delta at large.
All right, finally and briefly, how would you describe the role of the Ijaw youth in protecting the environment in the oil-rich Niger Delta region? Just briefly.
All the benefits that the Niger Delta governors are enjoying today is as a result of the hard work and labor that the Ijaw Youth Council have put in engaging the federal government and international IOCs on the issues that concern the welfare of the Niger Delta. And that's why you cannot talk about the 13% derivation without mentioning the roles the IYC played. You cannot talk about the NDDC today that is developing the Niger Delta without the roles the IYC played in the past. So the IYC engaged the military at that time constructively, and from that point, the IYC had been at the forefront of engaging governments at all levels. The amnesty program you see today, that a lot of Niger Delta people have gone to school and making the Niger Delta a peaceful place today, is because of the roles that the IYC played. So the IYC is an integral part of peace and progress in Nigeria,
All right,
as well as the Niger Delta. Today you talk about the pipeline security.
We'll leave it there,
the IYC has an integral role they play that have brought the peace
Thank
and
you.
the economic advancement.
Thank you
of
so
Nigeria,
much, Udengs Eradiri. We'll leave
Delta.
it there for now. Former President, Ijaw Youth Council / member, Ijaw National Congress, all the way from Bayelsa. Thank you.